This is the second orientation video, and in this video we wish to discuss the things that you need to do to be successful in this course. Once you've gotten into the course, one of the first things you should do is check your messages to see if there's any emails or messages from me concerning your situation in the course, or send me a message. Also check the discussion board, which actually should be the first screen that you see when you enter the course. In this general discussion forum, there will be a number of threads dealing with different topics, maybe things in the news. Here's one, introduce yourself. You want to go in there, if you will, and introduce yourself to the class. Maybe attach a picture so that we can put a face behind the name. And then we can become a dynamic, integrated class here online. But you want to check these information from time to time. I will put in information concerning the course, and so it might be important information here in these discussion groups for you to check and read. So that's the first two things you should do. This first time into the course, you want to look at this Start Here folder. So I'm going to click on that. And here are the orientation videos. So obviously you have made it this far because you're watching this orientation video. Also, you want to look at tips for taking quizzes and the fun quiz, at least this first week, because you want to take the fun quiz. It will establish your attendance in the course in the first week of this course. So you have to take that quiz. It's not really that difficult. In fact, let's go in and do it. And click on this fun quiz. And all this is to establish, well, your attendance in the course, and also what kinds of things, what the quizzes are going to be like. So here we're into the quiz, and we're ready to begin. And so we hit begin, and we'll see this one question at a time. So here's the first question. I am logged into the web server of the following institution. Auburn, University of Alabama, Calhoun Community College. I'm going to answer that. Now, to save my question, I can either save it, or I can just hit this next question arrow to go on, and that automatically saves it. So I'm ready for the next question. My astronomy instructor's name is Dr. Carl Sagan, Stephen Hawking, Dr. John Golben. All right, I'll go with that. Not too tough, are they? I'm sure the questions will get tougher once we get into the meat of this course. That's the way that you would go about answering these questions. And when you are done with the questions, go away to the end here, you save and submit. In this case, I have failed to answer questions 3, 4, 5 through 10. All right, we'll go ahead with that. And when it's all done, I'll see what the questions were and what my answers were, and how I did on each one. I generally would not see the correct answer. You will see the correct answer on this fun quiz, but generally you will not see the correct answer for reasons I'll explain later. But you can take this fun quiz as many times as you wish, just for practice on how to take the quizzes. Like I said, your main objective is to answer the questions, the study questions. And if we were to go into any one of these chapters and look under these PDF files and look at the study questions, you will see the list of the study questions that you are required to answer for each chapter before you take the quiz. 95% or even more of the questions that will be on the quiz will be exactly like these study questions. So you want to answer these questions. And so basically the quiz will be quizzing you on how good you study, for one thing. So how good you've done your preparation and work on the side to study. and 2, how well you've learned what you've studied. Because the quiz is timed, so you don't really have a whole lot of time to investigate while you're taking the quiz. So you've got to find the answers to the quizzes, to the study questions, and then you have to be able to present that within a timed test. Here's some of these questions. Let's look at one. Here's question number 3. It says the celestial sphere is divided into 88 modern constellations. True or false? So I want to find the answer to this question. What I would do is watch the lecture videos. It might be answered there. Very likely it could. Look at the notes. Read the book. And if I still can't find the answer, start a discussion thread. Maybe introduce this question and say, I think this might be true, but what do you think? You might be more involved in that, but you might get a discussion on this from other students. I'll monitor those discussions, make sure they don't go awry, and you can determine the answer that way, or do an internet search on Google or Bing or Yahoo, something like that. So that is your main goal, is to find the answers to these questions any way you can through all your resources. Let's see if we can find this. Here's my lecture notes for Chapter 1. And as we go down, alright, so here's a screen that says the celestial sphere is divided into 88 constellations. So the answer to that first question was true. Here's another one that divides the sky up into, where you can see 6,000 stars on the darkest nights by the unaided eye. So there might be a question where in the question group that says you can see 20,000 stars on a darkest night, and that would be false. The best that an average human being can see is 6,000 stars if you go to one of the most remote places where it's darkest in the sky and there's no light pollution. So, look through this, you watch the lectures, and in fact, let's take a look at a lecture and see how that might work. Here's the Chapter 0 prologue, and the lecture videos are in this folder. As I said, there's 2 main lecture videos to each chapter, usually about 45 to 55 minutes long, representing the same kind of lecture I would give to a stand-up class. Stand-up classes are about 1 hour and 15 minutes long. The lectures get condensed into 45 to 55 minutes because you don't have the class interaction that you would have with a stand-up lecture, where students are asking questions and you have other things on the side. There's also an extra video here about review questions, which may or may not help, but something extra that you can look at just for a review before you take the quiz. Most chapters will have these 2 lecture videos, 45 to 55 minutes long. Some chapters will have 3 videos, but those will be shorter, maybe 35 minutes long, encompassing the whole information of the chapter. Let's take a look at these videos, and hopefully by looking at a video of myself while I'm recording a video, we won't cause a breach in the space-time continuum of the universe, a black hole or something like that. Maybe we will. Alright, so I don't want to watch too much of that. I don't like watching myself on video. I've never watched any of these lectures all the way through. I've just bits and pieces. So I prefer not to watch. But if you're watching this video, and let's just say this Tegrity is a great system. Let's say I'm talking too slow for you. You would really prefer if I would talk faster. Well, one thing you can do is you can increase the rate of my talking by this little tab down here. Right now it's saying ×1. but I can say increase this even as fast as ×2, and that will increase the speed of the video to twice as fast. The neat thing is that the pitch of my voice won't change, so I won't start talking like Alvin the Chipmunk. It actually will maintain the same pitch of my voice, but it will just be presenting the video faster. Let's just see how this goes. All right, maybe we have caused a breach in space-time continuum. Well, it's not functioning well while we're recording and presenting at the same time. But you can increase that speed, or if I'm talking too fast, you can decrease the speed to a slower speed and listen to me at a slower speed. Also, within this integrity, you can move ahead and select a different position in the lecture. So you can watch some of the lecture, stop it, come back later, move this forward to a different point in the lecture, to a different screen, and watch it from there, and pick up your lecture where it ended before. So this is kind of a neat thing where you can work at your own pace. You can watch these at any time you wish. You can watch them at 3 a.m. and I'll still be talking to you. And you can select your own pace. So this is the nice thing about the integrity environment, the integrity videos. I've chosen this format where I'm actually talking to you all the time. So again, so you can see facial expressions and that part of the communication. All right, so you watch these videos, you get a lot of your information from there. You can look at the lecture notes, get information from there. You can start a discussion thread. You want to find the answers to all these questions. One thing that you'll never get is I will not give you a list of the answers to all these questions before you take the quiz. The reason I can't do that is, well, there's several reasons. One reason is if I give you a list of all the answers to these questions, that will circumvent the whole purpose of this course. The purpose of this course is to study astronomy, for you to spend time studying the subject of astronomy, finding answers, watching lectures, reading the book, and that sort of thing. And if you were just given the answers to the questions, then you could just go ahead and take the quiz. And not only would that circumvent the purpose of this course, it also might even constitute cheating. So even if you work hard, there's no way I can give you the answers to these questions. And in a sense, the quizzes themselves are going to be quizzing you on how well you've obtained the answers to these questions. So it's how well you've read, how well you've watched the videos, how well you've done all this work on the side is going to be personified in taking the quiz. Also, the quizzes are timed. So there's 40 minutes to do the quiz. That's enough time. From my stand-up lectures, I used to have everybody finish quizzes in about 30 minutes. You have 40 minutes to do the quizzes, including the essay questions. And the idea is that you should be studying the material the answers to the questions that you found before you take the quiz. So even though you possibly could have the answers there, there's no way for us to monitor that. You really can't do your investigations and your internet searches and things like that while you're taking the quiz. So it's really testing you on two things: how well you've done that information search and how well you know the information while you're taking the quiz. That's why the quizzes are timed. You also want to make sure when you're taking the quizzes that you have a good, solid internet connection. You may not want to use Wi-Fi because Wi-Fi can often break off. Now, the quizzes are designed so that even if you were broken away, you can still log back in real quickly and get back into the quiz. They're being timed from the moment you start that quiz. And that's another reason why I actually think 40 minutes is actually a little bit too long to take most of these quizzes, but enough time to account for problems that may occur. But your best bet is to have a direct connection to your internet so you don't have those Wi-Fi problems. If you do have computer problems, you can contact the help desk and they can help you. Or, worst comes to worst, you could come into campus. We have a Science Learning Center on the first floor of the Math, Science, and Administration building, the one which I'm in. And in that Science Center, you can walk in and there are a bunch of computers there which have a direct connection into the Calhoun system. And you can sit down on one of those computers and take the quizzes there. Now, it kind of defeats the purpose of having an online course where you have to actually come to campus. But if you have those kinds of problems, which you're responsible for, then that's one way to solve them. So you have that as an option. All right, so let's see what else I should be covering on this video. On these quizzes are going to be 2 essay questions. Now, at the end of every list of questions available in your PDF files, there will be possibilities for essay questions. In this first chapter, there is 8 essay question possibilities. I am going to select 2 of these exactly verbatim from the possible essay questions. On most chapters will be 5 to 10 possible questions. I will select 2 of them and put them on your quiz. You are to answer these questions using proper grammar and English. So no run-on sentences, put periods where periods should be, no fractional sentences, no hanging participles. I actually don't know what a hanging participle is because I'm a physics astronomy instructor. I'm not an English instructor. However, it has been decreed that every course at Calhoun should show an example of reading and writing ability, including the online courses. So this is the part of this course that is to demonstrate your writing ability. That also can be demonstrated by the discussion groups, but this will be a graded part of this course. So I will grade that question based on your content, how you've addressed the question, and there will be a part of it that will be graded on your grammar and punctuation and your basic English. So how you answer this question will be graded on that scale. The 2 essay questions are worth 5 of the 50 points on the quiz. So you want to do well in those essay questions. And you could possibly use those essay questions as a discussion group question in order to get your answers as well before you take the quiz. So you want to work ahead and introduce those threads so you can get feedback from everybody else on those particular questions. On this timeline, you'll be finding these questions. You can check this syllabus folder. There is a daily schedule. It tells you what you should be doing, at least on a nice, organized progression. And like I said, it's set up as if we were to have a stand-up class where we're meeting twice a week. And so you will complete things every chapter within 3 class periods. So every chapter is 3 class periods, about a week and a half. Now, if you typically are doing an online course, a lot of people like to finish all their online stuff by midnight on Sunday. You can use that schedule because if every chapter is a week and a half, there will always be a Sunday night involved there. So if you wish, you can put yourself on that schedule and finish all your work by the end of Sunday night. But the true deadlines will be a Tuesday or a Thursday night, 11:59 p.m. You can work ahead on the schedule, but you cannot work behind. So you want to complete these quizzes by these deadline dates. If you miss them, that will be your zero and your drop quiz. You can work ahead. Some people complete this course in a matter of weeks. That's perfectly fine. Just go work ahead, complete the quizzes well ahead of time, and that is perfectly fine. 40 minutes for 45 questions. There will be a lab as well for every chapter. And so you'll take the lab quiz for every chapter as well. The lab folders are in each chapter. So if I go into this prologue, there's a lab 0. This first lab is to understand a sky map. Here's the January 2013 sky map, but you'll have a different one depending on which semester you are. And so for this first lab, you'll study the sky map and all the different features on this map. Try to understand, the symbols for the magnitude of stars. The larger the dot, the greater the magnitude of the star. And there's certain events that will happen during that month that are important. So you'll study that, and when you feel like you know everything there is to know, then you can take the lab quiz. The lab quiz will be in the same exam folder for that chapter as the lecture quiz. So that will be your lab. Every chapter will have a different kind of lab. Some of them will ask you to go to a different website and look at something there to learn for that chapter. So you'll take the lab quiz, and the combination of those two will be your final average for the course. At certain points, there will be extra credit available, especially on the lab quizzes and possibly elsewhere within the course. So that should get you started. You wish to answer these questions, get ready for the quizzes, do everything on time within this daily schedule, the syllabus folder, which you will refer to often, and complete the quizzes. If you have any questions, contact me or start a discussion thread, and let's get started. Enjoy astronomy. It's a great subject. Like I said, it's dynamic, changing all the time, and let's be a part of it. Thanks.